Welcome back. Welcome if you're new to my channel. I would like to thank you all for all your support since posting the very first video on this channel last week. And in my last video, I mentioned that it is a time of transformation. By this, what I refer to was that this is a time of great opportunity for humanity to ascend to higher levels of consciousness, especially during this time. We have entered a new era, specifically since July 2020, which marks the beginning of the new galactic year. However, this shift began since many years, since 2012, and continues for some time. If you're wondering what a galactic new year is, it is based on a calendar system that is more synchronized with accurate galactic cycles, unlike the conventional calendar system that we normally use. So, moving on to the shift that I was talking about. If you imagine that the Earth we're living in could travel on different timelines, for example 3D or three-dimensional, 4D and 5D, and if you look at these words 3D, 4D and 5D as different realities or perceptions, the shift I mentioned is from one such reality or perception to another. 3D or three-dimensional is known to have been the level of consciousness we have been on all this time, or in the old era before 2020, and gradually we have moved on to 4D and then are moving on to a 5D level of consciousness. So when I say 3D, 4D and 5D, again I'm talking about different levels of consciousness. Even though we're living on the same planet, your perception of it is different depending on which state of consciousness you're operating at. So, a person who's at the 3D level of consciousness perceives things more from a physical state. This is someone who tries to separate themselves from others, competes, and lives quite a selfish life. Like I said before, 3D is known to have been the level of consciousness we have been on for a very long time, or in the old era, seeing life merely through the five senses. 5D state, on the other hand, is a level of consciousness when we begin to figure out that we are all connected. Competition and the strong sense of ego is pretty much diminished. A person operating from a 5D level of consciousness has love for all, unconditional love. So how does this shift happen? Well, that's through collective consciousness, or the consciousness as a collective of the earth. Meaning all of us are part of this collective, as you may already understand. So why now? Why this shift now? What's the relevance of current times with this shift? Well, in short, since 2012, with the planetary alignments, our Earth's electromagnetic field has been rising, and it has been said that our planet is apparently reaching a 0 point in the magnetic field. This 0 point field in quantum physics is also known as the famous phenomenon, the Akashic Record, or as some may refer to it, the knowledge base or the computer system of the universe. You may have heard about it by now as a source that contains virtually everything, unlimited amount of information. Here's the interesting thing. Among many ways of getting access to the Akashic Records is through your brain. Precisely through your pineal gland, which I believe many refer to as the third eye. Meditation as well helps stimulate the pineal gland to open up for this. Activation of the pineal gland also helps connect with nature or the natural world, increase intuition, focus, and most of all assist in making the shift from a 3D level of consciousness to a 5D. So I guess now you have an idea how the current times relate to a massive shift in awareness, and why I refer to this as a time of transformation. In such times, it is common for people to experience an awakening or an increasing in awareness. This I briefly mentioned in my very first video. If you haven't watched it, I'll link it here and also below in the description box. For some people, past traumas or lasting regrets or some significant incident that you may refer to as life-changing can trigger your awakening process. For this, clean eating or eating food that is high in frequencies such as vegetables, beans, and greens, basically by having vegetarian food, meditation, not harming other living beings and nature or the environment around you, and immersing yourself in being of service to others helps shifting to a 5D consciousness from a 3D level. So you have a choice to make individually whether to go in this direction or not. I hope to talk about this further in my next video, where I also want to talk about 5D healing or divine healing. Till then, peace and love, and I'll talk to you soon.